vermis was small, you say, well, what did you do it like 3 weeks ago? Well, we didn't measure it. So you have to go through a formal assessment of the superior, inferior, anterior, posterior area of the vermis, 1. 2, you measure the transcerebellar diameter. 3, you measure the head circumference of the DPD. We would also measure the chart, the corpus callosum. We didn't do that there. Subjectively, it's far more important looking at what the corpus callosum looks like. But yes, we would chart it. We want to know, does it grow normally as the pregnancy progresses? Not to look at the chart and say on the chart, oh, it's 2 times big, 2 times big. The subjective assessment is much more important than brought out in the Delphi consensus. But we still measure because we want to track development of the pregnancy progresses. We want to see normal growth. Hear it, Suko? Yes? Or no? Can you hear it, Suko? You can.
So now you can see that this patient, she doesn't like the transvaginal ultrasound. So I am trying to look at the brain by transabdominal. And now you can see that this is the vascular section, and then the 90-degree the transabdominal is not going to be transducer. Baby is moving, so. So now the baby is coming down, and however, it is sometimes very difficult to see because the now anterior fontanelle is the lower part here, right? And in that case, the transabdominal ultrasound is only your option.
So when Ritsuko started this examination, the lady was in breach, and within 2 minutes she had pushed it into cephalic presentation. So it's very important to take a message when examining the midline brain. It's not an ideal position that you can push the baby around. And in fact, for most of the examinations we've done today, we've had 3 hands on the abdomen when looking at the midline brain. And that's a very common situation to be in. Do you agree, Ritsuko?
Yes, very, very agree. But still, in the United States, there is a controversy. Professor Iran Madrid, he insists that the midline, the size of in the screening.
Yes.
However, many of the doctors and sonographers, that they are against because there is too much for the sonographer, and also if they cannot take a mid-size section, they might be sued. So there is a there's a controversy, but ideally for the screening, if you look at it like this, only one image for the ultrasound, and you can put save this image in the saving box, and I think that this is enough. And however, how do you think? Everybody, can you do it, or can you take this image for the screen?
Yeah, this is the debate. So everybody in the room, can you please put up your hands if you routinely look at the corpus callosum for every mid-trimester examination? Try.
Everybody?
Okay? No hands.
No.
No?
But do you?
But after watching you today, how many people after watching Ritsuko scanning today are going to routinely image the corpus callosum? Hands up. Everybody in the room.
All right. So, is there any other questions? Comments? No? Okay. So thank you very much.
Thầy Quân đấy bình thường